You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Glad you can join me on another episode of All Things Sports with Mike Davis. Brand new podcast for you today. Again, thank you for joining me. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to our Facebook page to get in contact with the show for comments or suggestions. I won't take up much more of your time. Let's get into it. So last night, the NBA Finals began. It was game one of the finals. It really was a mismatch. I called it. I pretty much, well, my thing is I have the Lakers winning in 6, but we haven't gotten that far yet. So let's slow our horses down. Let's slow down a little bit. All right, so last night the Lakers take game one, 116-98. King James, LeBron, he scored 25 points, 13 boards, 9 assists. The real MVP of that team, I believe, was Anthony Davis, added a game high of 34 points, 9 boards, and the Lakers pretty much really they dominated this game. They at one point there was a 32-point lead for the Lakers. Now for the Heat, they had to deal with some injuries. They already had one guy coming back against Boston, the last game against Boston in the last series, and that was Bam Adebayo. Now he ended up leaving in the third quarter with a shoulder strain. Now guard Gordon Dragic suffered a left foot injury before halftime, and Jimmy Butler rolled his left ankle in the second quarter, but he stayed in the game. And look, the bottom line is it's too much firepower for the Miami Heat to overcome. I give Miami 2 games because of heart. It wouldn't shock me if they only win one. Shoot, it wouldn't shock me if the Lakers sweep. But I'm being generous because, the Miami Heat is pretty much the little team that could this year. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give them 2 games in the finals. I don't think they're going to get swept, but it wouldn't surprise me if it happened. But I have the Lakers winning this thing in 6 and closing out the Heat. So they are now up 1-0. All Lakers last night. That's all it is to it. All right, let's switch gears over to the NFL. Sunday's game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Tennessee Titans has been postponed. Now, they're going to play this game either on Monday or Tuesday. Now, this is what the NFL said in a statement on Wednesday, that a game date and time will be announced as soon as possible, adding that the postponement will allow additional time for further daily COVID-19 testing, and that is to ensure the health and safety of players, coaches, and game day personnel. Now, the postponement follows positive COVID-19 tests among the Titans. Now, they're saying that it's 4 players who tested positive, including starting nose tackle DeQuan Jones and long snapper Bo Brinkley, and practice squad tight end Tommy Hudson, and 5 team personnel members this week. Now, Titans head coach Mike Vrabel, I can never pronounce his name right. Vrabel, Mike Vrabel. Look, don't judge me. I'm not the only one that can't pronounce certain names, but it is what it is. Mike Vrabel, head coach of the Titans, said Wednesday that some of the players who tested positive were experiencing flu-like symptoms, and the Titans have now closed their team facilities until at least Saturday. The Minnesota Vikings, who played the Titans on Sunday, they have said they've had no positive results in their latest round of coronavirus testing. Now, after closing their own facility on Tuesday. The Vikings are planning to reopen their facilities today, Thursday, and players and coaches were set for virtual meetings Wednesdays in lieu of practice for their scheduled game on Sunday at the Houston Texans. So, look, you got to be safe out there, people. You go out, wear your mask. I will admit I've gotten kind of lax with it, and I was just saying like a day or two ago, I need to wear my mask everywhere instead of just wearing it to certain places. You just because you don't know who you are coming in contact with, and you're putting yourself at dangers, health dangers, and you're putting others at risk as well. So people, be safe out there. If you have to step out, wear your mask. Be considerate of others. I know it's an inconvenience to wear the mask. No one wants to wear it, but it's for the safety of you and others. And if you want football, we don't need football. The NFL saying, all right, we got to shut this thing down. They've ran a pretty tight ship, and this was the first week really where you've seen just players now testing positive. The Falcons had one positive test on Saturday with rookie, the rookie cornerback Terrell out of Clemson. He tested positive, but again, people, stay safe. If you got to go out, wear your mask. All right, staying with the NFL, I wanted to get into the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City game that happened on Monday Night Football. So the Ravens, again, were slowed down by KC, losing 34-20, and that ended Baltimore's 14-game regular season winning streak. Now, the Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson, was asked, can the Ravens get over the hurdle of beating the Chiefs? Now, Jackson interjected by saying, our kryptonite. So Lamar Jackson now falls to 0-3 against the Kansas City Chiefs after passing for a career worst 97 yards. What's crazy is he's 21-1 against the rest of the NFL in the regular season. That is a crazy stat line. Crazy stat line. But you know what? I saw a stat line, I don't want to get off topic, but I saw a stat line like this a couple days ago. I was looking at some old NFL films on YouTube, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, it was a year they won their division. It was the year the Titans went to the Super Bowl, and they played the Tennessee Titans in the AFC title game. That year, Jacksonville went 15-0 against all their opponents. Their 3 losses came to the Tennessee Titans that year. I had never seen a stat like that before. They ran through their schedule. And it's weird to say that because you look at Jacksonville now, you're like, who? The Jaguars. But people forget that those late 90s Jags teams with Mark Brunell were some great quality, excellent teams. But I just brought that up because this is kind of like the Lamar Jackson, who was 21-1 against the rest of the NFL. But he's 0-3 against KC in his career. Now, the reigning NFL MVP, that is Lamar Jackson, he has completed 67% of his passes against 31 other teams with a 72.9 total QBR. Now, against Kansas City, kind of dips a little bit. I won't just say a little bit, it dips. So he's only connected on 53% of his throws, and he has a QBR of 58.5 against KC. Now, the Chiefs kept Jackson off his game by blitzing him on 35% of his dropbacks compared to 29% of all other teams. Look, I called it this year. I think KC repeats. I don't know who is going to knock off the Chiefs. Look, Pat, I'm going to say Pat. I don't have a problem saying, I'm pretty sure, it was a big old thing on Monday Night Football with his parents or whatever, tweeting to the Monday Night crew saying that, his name is Patrick and not Pat. Look, that's like saying my name is Michael, But look, everyone calls him Michael. It's not a big deal, okay? So, Pat Mahomes, okay? Pat Mahomes was Super Bowl MVP. He's going to win a league MVP soon. Mark my word. This is a man on a mission and one of the best young QBs in the game. He got paid as well during the offseason, so he's going to have to live up to that big contract. I know it's never going to be any hype as much as that, as far as having to live up to a deal with the money he got. But I got all my eggs are in the KC breadbasket. I'm going KC. KC will repeat. I don't see anybody who's going to knock the Chiefs off. And finally, three-time French Open champion Serena Williams withdrew from the tournament yesterday because of a lingering left Achilles injury. Kind of sucks because Naomi Osaka, she ended up withdrawing as well from the French Open because of a hamstring injury. And those are pretty much the two ladies that I follow when it comes to tennis. Now, Serena Williams made the announcement shortly before her second-round match on Wednesday, and the exit extends a Grand Slam drought for the 23-time major champion, who has been looking to tie Margaret Court's all-time record of 24 since winning the 2017 Australian Open. Now, this is Williams' earliest exit at any Grand Slam tournament since a second-round loss in Paris in 2014. And the second time she has withdrawn from a Grand Slam tournament in her career. Now, Serena Williams withdrew from the 2018 French Open, her first Grand Slam appearance since giving birth to her daughter, prior to her fourth-round matchup against Maria Sharapova, citing a pulled muscle in her chest. So, so she won't be playing. She will not be playing in the French Open. You know, that's unfortunate. Now, her opponent, who she was going to face in this round, receives a wild card into the event, and she advances into the third round via a walkover, with Serena exiting the tournament. So that kind of sucks for tennis fans. I know tennis fans, you know, anytime you can see Serena play, that's a good thing, right? It's a great thing. It's an awesome thing, you know. And like I said, that's one of the people who I follow when I watch women's tennis, her and Osaka. So with them not being in a tournament, I probably won't be watching this tournament. I'll probably just watch highlights. And I will just probably call it a day. And speaking of calling it a day, that's all I got for you today, folks. Hey, look, I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to the Facebook page, get in contact with the show for leaving comments or suggestions. And before you go, also, I have a new YouTube channel that I am going to be rolling out. I have one video up now, and it's Mike Does Everything. And you can just type that in. I'll probably put a link in the YouTube description so you can go over and click on that. Check it out. It's going to be me doing different entrepreneurship things and other entertainment things that I enjoy, such as like smoking cigars. You know, just having regular conversation. But go over there, check that out. Subscribe to that channel as well. You've been listening to All In Sports with Mike Davis, and remember, it's your world. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm out. Peace.
You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.